Shipwrecked. It's what happened to this 16-year-old girl. She and her friend, also 16, found themselves on a deserted island after their boat capsized. Luckily, they managed to cling to the wreckage until they were finally pushed ashore by the waves. The island was beautiful, all white sand and swaying palm trees and sparkling ocean. But every night the stars would shift into strange patterns, and each morning more parts of the island would appear that weren't there the day before. One morning, the boy found a whole village made of perfectly smooth, perfectly round stone statues, all of them sitting in a circle around a fire pit. And each statue had a small inscription on its chest. The girl found an old leather journal buried in a bottle in the sand. It described how a ship had wrecked on this very island, how the survivors had been shipwrecked here many years ago, just like them. The pages were dated, which told them that they had been on the island for 7 days already. And the journal predicted what would happen on the 7th night. A doorway of light would open in the sky, just like the one that brought them there. Only one of them would be able to go through it. They looked up at the night sky, but saw no sign of any doorway or anything out of the ordinary. Disappointed, they went to sleep on the beach, each clutching a torch made from dried palm wood. In the middle of the night, the girl woke up. She sat up and gasped. The sky was filled with a bright, beautiful doorway made of swirling, golden light. Beyond it, she could see palm trees and the sparkling sea. It looked just like the island. But something was wrong. There was something dark lurking just behind the trees. Something big and scary. The boy was kneeling beside the fire, his torch sputtered in the wind. His eyes were wide with terror as he stared at the doorway. He held out his hand to her, then he started to scream. Whatever was out there was coming for them. She didn't want to leave him, but she knew she had no choice. The doorway was only big enough for one person to fit through. Her heart broke as she watched him get burned by the fire. Then he ran towards the light, the flames licking at his feet. She turned away to hide her tears. As the last of the light faded from his hair, she heard a voice behind her. It was the same voice she'd heard in the journal. It spoke to her of a great evil that lived in the darkness beyond the island, an evil that fed on fear. The only way to stop it was to destroy the island. And she could do that by throwing stones into the fire pit. But if she did that, the doorway would disappear and the boy would be trapped forever. She turned back to the fire pit. In the center of it, she saw the 8 stones that had been missing from the circle. She picked one up, then hurled it into the center of the fire. Instantly, the flames reached up towards the sky and the doorway widened. She could see the boy standing in front of it. He looked back at her and smiled. She fell to her knees, sobbing, watching him walk through the light. She wanted to call out to him, to tell him she loved him, but she couldn't make a sound. Then she heard the screams. She ran towards the noise and saw the boy standing on the other side of the doorway. It was just as she'd seen it in the visions, a place of darkness and twisted trees and thick, purple clouds. But now it was real, and she could see the boy struggling against the darkness, trying to pull himself free. But the darkness was too strong. It wrapped around him and pulled him under. Then she saw the monster. It rose up out of the darkness. Its eyes glowed red, its teeth were sharp and long. It was covered in scales and leathery wings. She screamed his name, and the monster stopped. It tilted its head and looked at her, then it smiled, baring its fangs. She threw a stone at it, then another and another. Each rock burned as it touched the monster, but it just kept coming forward. Then she saw the knife sticking out of its leg, the one she'd cut off to save the boy. She picked it up and ran after him, deeper and deeper into the darkness.